Yeah. Obviously, Clay's a really tough at bat, especially for a righty with that sinker-slider combo. The first, or I guess it was my second at bat off of Weaver, was no good at all. And I was just like, I just told God, I was like, hey, man, take this. Like, this is a tough matchup. Just try to have fun, and you take the at bat. And got behind in the count and just got a pitch up in the zone, and luckily it went out.
Andy?
What's the reaction like in the dugout after John Kenzie's homer?
It was amazement. It was so much excitement, but then it was just like, oh yeah, of course John Kenzie hit it like game tying homer against a guy throwing 98, and he throws a changeup and he hits it for a homer. Like, nobody does that, but we had, like Voter said, like that's why he's coming into the game. It's like, all right, here you go, big boy. Like, hit a 2-run homer, and he did. Like, so cool.
Right in front of the team.
David, how about you in these big moments in these two series? I mean, what makes you be at your best in these clutch situations?
Yeah, again, like I said, I try to give it to God, and I'm just trying to have the slowest heartbeat I can. It's tough in those situations to stay within yourself and just try to have like a normal approach. But luckily tonight was a good one.
David?
What is it about this team that enables everybody to just continue to respond, you know, when, like Steven was talking about punch in the mouth kind of situations?
Yeah, I think it's just who we are as a team. Like, everybody genuinely loves each other, and we come to the field excited to play. And it's like, yeah, we got punched in the mouth with the best pitcher in baseball, Manuel Clase. And it's like, you know what, boys, like, he picked us up all year. It's time we pick him up, you know? And, I mean, there were just so many little moments that, obviously, Maddie gives us a huge start. Then bullpen comes in, does their thing. Himmy makes some unreal plays. I think the at-bat that kind of got forgotten was off Weaver, 2 outs in the 9th. Lane has an unbelievable at-bat, then hits a double off the wall to kind of keep the game alive before John Kenzie's homer. There's just so many things that these guys do as a team. They're so tough. I mean, it's so much fun to be a part of.
Mandy?
It seemed like every time in New York when we were talking to you guys, you just kept saying we just need to get back to guard ball, we need to get back to being ourselves. Did it feel like that's what it was tonight?
Yeah, it was good pitching all night, amazing defense, obviously led by Hemi, and then clutch hitting. I mean, Rocchio gets the bunt down, like bunts, bombs, and chaos. That's what we talked about, and yeah, it felt like tonight we got back to that.
To Bradford?
David, you touched on it already, but I just want to ask you a little more about, you know, after Class A just dominated for you guys all year, just how big was it for everybody else in the dugout to pick him up after that?
Yeah, like, it's unbelievable. Like, there's not enough adjectives to talk about how good he was this season. They had to have set records for just about everything you can do as a closer. And it's just like you hand him the ball, and we don't even watch the game, I feel like we're chatting it up because we know the game's over. So we were, like, obviously shook, but it was just like, you know what? It's time we give him a break. Like, he carried our team all year long in the 9th inning. It's like, it's our time to pick him up, and I'm glad we did.
Glass couple here in the third row.
On your homer, while the ball's in the air, what's going through your head?
Yeah, at that point I blacked out. No clue. I just remember being like halfway down the first base line, looking back at the dugout, and then I'm looking at Sandy. I'm like, all right, I got to just make sure I touch all 4 bases and get home and celebrate.
We'll finish up with Jordan.
Just more on the reaction of your home run. How did it compare, especially doing it at home, compared to the big home run you hit in Detroit in the last series? Yeah,
different. The one in Detroit I didn't know was out. And at that point, I think I was the tying run in that game, so I was like kind of booking it, making sure I get to second base. And then there was still a game left in that one, so it's like get back in the dugout. All right, here we go. We got to close this one out, and then obviously this one was over after, and it's a blur still.